people? What's up? This is your boy Alex. Tonight's video will become tomorrow morning's YouTube video. Now, I had an idea that came to me from the Most High, and the Most High, as you know, he has a lot of names. Now, I was watching a gentleman's YouTube video. He's a very soft-spoken gentleman. You know, Ringo TV Raw. He makes some very good YouTube videos, some very good content, and I advise you go watch his channel. Now, I do make serious topics on YouTube videos. Now, this video I wanted to wait until summer to make, so this is going to be one of those serious types of YouTube videos, and this one's going to be talking about something I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. This one's going to be called Sex Game, The Truth. Some people like the truth, and some people hate the truth. I know that's like a long name of a title of a video. I do videos that are fun and entertaining, then I do videos that are very serious. Yeah. Alright. See, we live in a time and place where everything is... They made a movie with George Clooney and it called Up in the Air. A lot of stuff is up in the air right now. And a lot of you people are being entertained. I do a very good job of entertaining people, but I'm also known for sometimes making videos go viral for speaking my mind. Now, this is one of these, it's going to be one of these serious videos, so you might want to, get your popcorn, get your candy, get your coffee, your water, whatever it is you need, because this is going to be a long, bumpy ride. And I'm going to be saying some stuff in this video that's going to open your eyes and your ears to a lot of stuff. Now, I'm not a huge fan when it comes to fast conspiracy theories on the internet, because they deal with lots of lies and deceptions. So I really should change the title of this video called Sex Game, Truth versus Lies, because we have two groups of people. We got one people who's all about telling the truth, and then we have one group of people who love to tell lies. And the people who tell the truth, they're not trying to become rich and famous. They're not trying to become popular. They just want the truth to be told. And the group who lie, they like to say things and do things to see how you react to things. Like today, a friend of mine who also does YouTube videos told me that he wanted some observations. And I told him, wait until you get all the information to do a video. And I told him that this thing that's going around the world, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter, okay? And people who laugh and make jokes and be funny, you got to be a little bit more serious, because you could be walking down the street one day and something bad can happen to you just because you're not taking life serious. Like, trust me, there's a reason why when I was a kid, and I'm not the one to talk about funerals because I'm not a huge fan of funerals. Trust me, when I had to see my mom pass away, um, it had a powerful, profound effect on me. You heard me talk about in the video how my mom lost her battle with breast cancer. It takes years to get over the fact that you don't have a mother. It takes years to have to look in the mirror and realize you're in a world where your mom will never see you get your first job, your second job, your third job, your fourth job. Your mom will never get to see how many girlfriends you get. Your mom will never get to see you grow up and prosper and realize your full potential at 100%. That bothers me. That messes with me. And the only reason why I'm strong and powerful and continue to move forward, because the power of the Most High tells me the past is the past, the present's the present, the future's the future. Move on is what your mom would want. I'm telling you on camera how this sometimes upsets me. You know, the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because this is a YouTube video that I told you guys in the very beginning of the year I was going to make a video called Sex Game, the truth, and I finally came up with a better title. We're going to call it Sex Game Truth versus Lies. Because I told you I was going to make this video, and I was going to talk about what happens when people tell the truth and what kind of consequences people get for telling the truth. So let's go into the reasons why people tell the truth and why they get punished for telling the truth. Now, you do understand that when you tell the truth, not only that a group of people get upset with you, like, let's look at politics. I made 2 videos last year that made very viral. Perhaps you've seen those videos. They keep getting featured on all my YouTube channels, right? It's by far the most hated YouTube video by far. I'm talking about for my content. It's by far the most hated video. I'm going to tell you why it's the most hated video. Because, like Ringo TV Raw said, it told the truth. It got more dislikes than it actually got likes. The second video got more likes than dislikes, which is very funny and hilarious. And do you know why that video blew up the way it did? Because a part of me did put my heart and soul into the video, but there was someone behind me who pushed that video forward and wanted that truth to come out. That person who wanted the truth in that video to come out is the Most High. Some of the best ideas that I get, okay, for the most part, they're my ideas, but they're actually him giving me the ideas when I go to sleep and when I wake up in the morning. He gives me all the ideas. He tells me, nah, my child, don't turn that into a video. It's not good. Make this into a video. Some of y'all might say, well, let me get this straight. The Most High tells you to make these videos and they have sex game in them. Well, sex game is just the name and title of a video. Sex is the essence of life. Sex is a gift. And sometimes when you abuse a gift, there are consequences. Now, people who tell the truth and they get punished, a lot of times they get punished just because of telling the truth. Like, see, we live in an era where telling the truth is boring, it's no fun, it's not exciting. They treat it like it's a book report in high school and college. Like, you remember when you was in high school and college that every time you did a book report, a lot of people just went to sleep, and you were like, but I just put some hard work and soul, right? I put my heart and soul into doing a book report, and no one shows no reaction. Like, if you ask the average person in high school and college, do they know who Luther Martin King Jr. is or Malcolm X is? Most of them can't even tell you unless they saw a movie or a television show. If you were to ask them to tell them what happened in history with Greek mythology, they can't even tell you unless you're talking about the movies. You know how come? You know how come I know that? When I first went to college, there was this one guy who asked me a question and I couldn't answer it. He's a journalist, and he asked me a question, and he asked me, what was the last time you picked up a very good book and read an educational book? I named off comic books, and he had this straight, stern look on his face like, you mean to tell me the last great book that you read was a comic book? And I said, yeah. And he looked at me and said, I feel bad for you because you need to educate yourself to the point that when someone like me asks you a question, you give me an intelligent answer. You got people in this world that are smart. You got some people in this world that are not very smart. And he was trying to explain to me from his point of view that if you continue to keep going down the road that you're going, people are going to take an advantage of you because they see that you don't know anything. So they'll sell you things. And it doesn't matter if what they sell you is good or bad. They'll just sell you stuff because they know you don't know any better. And he started to make his job to make me read stuff that I particularly didn't want to read. Like politics, I told him I don't like politics. And he would snap his fingers at me and told me, it's not about if you like politics, it's about you understanding what's around you. Because, you know, one day you're not going to have your mom, your dad to tell you this information. You're going to be out in the world by yourself, and what you going to do when you don't know what to do? And he told me, I don't want you to be in this world and you don't know anything. And he meant it. And he would continue to keep checking up on me. And as time went on, I would start doing videos. And he would look at me and say, I want you to talk about something that's real serious, something that it stimulates the mind. So sometimes when I do these educational videos and people in the hood get mad when I do educational videos, that is because you want me to talk about sex and dating all the time. And I already just said that sex and dating is like pay-per-view. You don't talk about the best stuff in the first hour and the second hour. You do it in the third hour because that's how you get everyone interested. Now, when people tell the truth, you have no idea how much scrutiny people go through in telling the truth. Like, a lot of times, if you look in the news, right, there are news people in the news who do tell the truth. A lot of those people get brought into office and told, you got to be careful with saying certain stuff on television, because we don't want certain information out there. Well, that's what happens when you tell the truth. I'm serious. You know how a lot of the people on the internet get their videos demonetized and taken off the internet? A lot of times it's because they first tell the truth and then they lie and then they make misleading information. And when you do misleading information, you lose respect. People don't take you serious. And you do that all throughout life, no one can trust you. You know, I think Tupac said it best. You cannot be rich and famous, and you cannot make money and play around with a group of individuals and think you're going to come out on top fine. People thought Tupac was insane when he said that. But what Tupac was referring to, you can't tell the truth and then not expect people to get you for telling the truth. Tupac made rap albums telling you that you better be careful about going out into the world and doing it, seriously. And let's talk about the second thing about telling the truth. See, telling the truth is supposed to reveal that you are a righteous man or a righteous woman. That's what the telling the truth reveals. And the reason why some people like the truth is because it helps them understand the information that they're dealing with. Like, think about it. I heard my dad talk about it early this morning that he wanted my half sister to write a book, and she don't want to write the book because to her she want to do what she want to do, and he was trying to explain to her it ain't about what you want to do. It's about if I have an idea and I get the idea from the Most High, then it's because the Most High is telling me to tell your kids this will help them get further success if they do it. It's one of those concepts of you just do all the boring work first, then you can have some fun later. And sometimes when you get in your 30s and your 40s, you start to look back and say, if I only had somebody tell me this information. That's why you always hear me say in my YouTube videos that when I give you this information, I expect you to learn from the information. Like yesterday, we had a black guy in the car that was making faces at me because he thought it was funny when I made this YouTube video called "Sex Game." Sex is like the animal kingdom. He seen the video just like everyone else seen the video. He thought it was fun and entertaining. What's sad is when I make any type of video, you're supposed to absorb the knowledge and the information that I give to you and stop looking at all the videos. Yes, I do entertainment, but there comes a time where I go from doing fun, entertaining videos to serious concept videos. And when he laughed and did that, that made me go, see, you're going to be one of these guys 10, 15, 20 years from now that I'll see at a gas station asking me for 10 or 15, $20 and I'll look at you and say, "See, this is what you get when you don't let someone tell you the truth." And the reason why I feel bad for this individual is because he's not the only one that does stupid, ignorant nonsense. You got people who can tell you who Lil Wayne and Drake is, but they can't tell you who Luther Martin King Jr. is, Malcolm X. They can't tell you anything about the Most High. If you tell them a story about Egypt, just Egypt, they can't even tell you none of the great kings or the pharaohs of Egypt. because they don't know anything about that. They can't even begin to even tell you uh, any of the other events that took place in history. Like if you asked them about the history of World War One, just World War One and World War Two, they couldn't even tell you the year that those wars take place. We all know World War Two took place in the 1940s, but as my teachers in high school and college taught me, what year did World War Two took place? It started in 1942, but it didn't end until like 1945. They made hundreds of movies, television shows, documentaries on World War Two. If you ask them about the Korean War or the Vietnamese War, they couldn't even tell you that one of those wars started in 1961 or 1962 and it didn't end until like 1967 or 1968. They can't tell you when these wars started. But most of these people, they can tell you about Lil Wayne. They can tell you about Drake. They can tell you about Carly B. That's when you're dealing with people who do not like being told the truth. And these same people who do not want to tell you about the truth are the same people that you run into 10, 15, 20 years later at a gas station and they start asking you for money. And you start to look at them like, how come you're asking me for money, but you know all these cool, famous rappers? Now, it's no stranger. I used to listen to rap music and hip hop, so I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. I've done some pretty stupid, dumb, childish things in high school and college that if there was a time machine, I would go back in time and actually tell my younger self, come here, and actually pop my own self in the face and tell my younger version which women to stay away from, which women not to talk to, which people to hang out with, and which people not to hang out with. If I could actually go back into a time machine and go back 14 years back to when I was in high school and college, I would pop my own self in the head for doing some of the stupid, childish things that I had no business doing. See, I'm 34. It's 14 years later. And I told you in a self improvement YouTube video the same thing. And I actually am going to make another YouTube video called Sex Game if I can go back in time. What would be the 10 things if I can go back in time and tell my younger self what I should have never done? And you see, when you tell the truth, you just try to help the next generation. I keep telling you on my old YouTube channels, tell you in these YouTube channels, I'm not going to be doing YouTube forever. You know, life happens. One day Alex might need a house or an apartment. One day Alex might get a car. One day Alex might fall in love and get kids. That will happen one day. And when that day comes, you won't be able to come on here and look at no more of my incredible, fun, entertaining videos no more because life happens. And when life happens, things get serious. One chapter closed, another chapter begins. See, that's another thing about the truth. The truth also reveals that you have to graduate from one level to the next level to the next level. Everybody has to get a house, a car, everybody has to get a job, everybody has to make money and pay bills. There's a time to have fun, and then there's a time to get serious. And the truth reveals these things to us. But when we ignore the truth, when we don't want to listen to the truth, then the next thing that we get when we don't want to take the truth serious is when you really need something. What happens when your car breaks down and you don't have a car mechanic to tell you what's wrong with your car? There are stories of people who get laughed, teased, bullied, made fun of in high school and college, and then all of a sudden 10, 15, 20 years later, you get you get a guy that becomes a car mechanic and it's the same person you made fun of. Now that person doesn't want to help you fix your car. You make fun of a girl because she's 300 pounds or 400 pounds overweight and you make fun of her, and then when she gets into athletic shape and she's looking fine and good looking, now you want to take her out to lunch and dinner. But the problem is she don't want to get with you because the truth revealed to her that you're just trying to be there because she's in athletic shape and that's the only reason. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting in athletic shape. There's something wrong when you don't like someone from the very beginning and the only reason why you're there is because of their success and the fact that they became successful. Like, I used to always tell this to my friends. I used to get a lot of hell for this. I used to tell a lot of my friends that when you try to become rich and famous, or you try to use someone to become rich and famous, or you try to use someone because they have a special gift or a special talent that the Most High has blessed them with, what happens is the Most High sees that, right? And when he sees that, he immediately punish you by saying, well, you're not going to become rich and famous because you're trying to use this man or this woman, young or old, black or white. You're trying to use that person because they have talent. Like you look, you see a lot of these professional basketball players, a lot of these football players. I actually feel bad for a lot of the athletes in the '80s and the '90s and the 2000s. All these guys that became rich and famous who are now broke and don't have no money because when they were out there getting their ball on in the basketball or in the NFL, these guys not only weren't responsible with their money, these guys blew their money on stuff that I have money that I would never blow my money on. Okay, I do buy prescription drugs, but that's for my asthma, to control my asthma. It's if I have to go to the dentist and I need antibiotics, or if I need something to help stay hydrated, or if I have an energy deficient problem. I try to buy stuff to help to enhance the body, not hurt the body. These guys take drugs that do more than just help the body. These guys take drugs that hurt them, and that's not good. Like you look at one basketball player, Lou Patrine Springwell. He was one of the best basketball players in the late '80s, early 1990s. Played about 12 years of professional basketball, and it's kind of like a tragedy when they talk about his story on the internet because he could have been one of the greats that could have won an NBA championship. He played alongside some of these great basketball players, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant. He played against Michael Jordan. He played against all the greats. He played like at least 12 or 13 years of professional basketball, but he couldn't shake the fame. He couldn't get over the fact that he was rich and famous. He couldn't get over his drug addiction. He couldn't kick these habits. And he's just one athlete. It also happened to Lawrence Taylor, another famous guy. The guy went to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 championships, played 13 years of professional football, but his fame controlled him. His money controlled him. His drug addiction controlled him. And he hasn't been the same person since. And people tried to tell Springwell the truth. He didn't want to hear the truth, and look what the end result is. Try to tell Lawrence Taylor the truth. He didn't want to hear it. Look what the end result is. People have tried to tell me the truth in the past, and it took like 10, 11 attempts to get me to see the light, to see I was doing things to hurt myself. And that's why I told you in the next YouTube video, I'm going to make a video called If I Can Go Back in Time, the 10 things I would tell myself what I know now, so that version of myself would never make those mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes I made in the past that now when I sit down at 34 years old and say to myself, had I known the information that I know today, I probably would have not made mistakes. And I'm not talking about when it comes to women, because I already made plenty of videos about getting rejected. I'm talking about stuff that cost me opportunities, job opportunities. You know how many jobs I would have had in the past had I just sat down and listened to people when they were trying to tell me the truth instead of being a hard-headed asshole, arrogant, proudful, don't want to listen. You know how many jobs I would have had in the past had I just listened? Yeah. And guess what? Sometimes the Most High will send a man or a woman to check up on you and speak to you and tell you, don't do this, don't do that. Like today, the Most High sent a messenger to speak to me indirect to see if I was fine, okay. See, if you don't believe in the Most High, nothing happens. You can't become rich and famous if you don't believe in the Most High. You cannot prosper if you don't listen to the Most High. Doesn't matter if the Most High say A, B, C, and D. Whatever He says, that's what goes. That's what happens when you let the truth reveal itself. It reveals to you who are your real friends, who are fake and phony. And whenever you try to use somebody's talents because they can play basketball, football, or baseball, and that person all of a sudden finds out you're trying to use them, it's because they found out that you're just trying to use them for that. I'm serious. Now let's go for the lies. The people who lie are like master manipulators. They lie because they think that by doing that they can actually get further. When you lie, well, it's bad because now you're making it to where people can't get useful information, and then guess what happens? That hurts them in the long run. You lie. I used to hear my college professor say this all the time. You cheat on an exam. You cheat on your driving exam. One day you're gonna get pulled over by the police and get a ticket. It ain't because you're getting the ticket. It's because the Most High told the cop to give you a ticket for cheating on that exam. Some of y'all might say, "Come on, man, don't be going Bible religious on us." It's not that I'm going Bible religious. It's just when you make a video like this and it has the word truth in it, it's me trying to just tell the truth. Some of my best videos of telling the truth, a lot of people hate them. And it's like, you hate truth, right? But what happens when your car breaks down and you need a car mechanic to fix it? And you find out that's the same person you laughed, teased, bullied, and made fun of 10, 15, 20 years ago in high school and college. And that person refuses to fix your car because the Most High told them not to, obviously. What happens when you make fun of a girl who was overweight? And then now you like her because now she in athletic shape. This is what lies, people who lie, do. See, when you hear me come on camera and tell you that I act like an a-hole, I just do what I always do, tell the truth. The truth's not popular, it's not pretty either. The truth is sometimes ugly. As for lies, it's easy to lie. When you were in high school or in college and you got an F on your report card, a lot of us would lie, right? And a lot of us got caught by our mom and our dad because why? Our mom and our dad can tell when we're telling the truth and they can tell when we're lying. Even when I took martial arts, my sensei could tell who came on time and who came late to practice. And if you came late to practice, you didn't just do 50 to 100 push ups. You had to take your hands like this and get on your knees barefisted and do that. And that was punishment for coming late to practice. If my martial art instructor found out that I got a D or a fail on my report card, I didn't get to take part in martial art practice. You know what type of consequence I got? You're gonna walk around the lap. You're gonna go outside and you're gonna run up the street 3 times and do 6 laps because I expect you to excel in martial arts, but I also expected you to do something else, expel in school, and you did not. And sometimes my martial arts teacher didn't know if we were doing the right thing, so he would call all our high schools, like he actually did this. He literally called all our high schools and colleges and actually popped up on us and start speaking to our teachers to see if we did what we were told to do. Like he actually did this to a lot of his martial arts students. And he told me with a straight face when he was giving me a consequence, and he looked at me and he told me, telling the truth ain't supposed to be fun and exciting and popular. Telling the truth is supposed to reveal to you, are you do you have an advantage or are you at a disadvantage? Telling the truth ain't fun. Telling the truth ain't exciting. Work ain't fun. Work ain't exciting. And when you tell the truth, don't be surprised when people get upset with you. When you lie, you may think that because you lie, they giving you some dabs, they saying you the man, but behind their back, they're talking bad about you. That's what lies do. See, if you tell the truth, you have to tell the truth because you don't want to be that guy that asks somebody for $5 or $10 and then don't think this has an effect. So this YouTube video has lasted a lot longer than it was supposed to. And this is a video I'll probably upload tonight or tomorrow, and it's going to be entitled Sex Game, The Truth versus Lies. You know, you got men who lie to men, you got women who lie to women, you got men who tell the truth, you got women who tell the truth. And I notice when you're young, you don't want to hear the truth, but when you get old, now you want to hear the truth. And this video is actually a preview to the next video where I'm going to entitle the video "Sex Game." If I can go back in time, the 10 things that I would tell my young self what I know now. We all make mistakes. We all do stuff that we live to regret. And sometimes you don't want to wait until one day when it's too late to not only apologize to someone, but there's also confession. If you ever go to church, they always talk about confession's good. And telling the truth is also good. So the title of this video is going to be called Sex Game Truth versus Lies. That means people lie in relationships, people lie in friendships. So this video is going to be pretty much breaking it down to where you can understand the math and the science. Now, after I do this particular video, some of you will pretty much understand where I'm coming from, and those who don't like the truth, you're going to continue to keep getting angry and player hating, but please don't end up like that guy, because I actually had this happen to me 3 times. It'd be people who laughed, bullied, teased, made fun of me, and when they see that I have a job and I make money, they start walking up to me saying, can you give me some money? And I'd be looking like them like, when I tried to tell you the truth back in the day, you didn't want to hear the truth. Now that you're not doing too very well, now you want my help. So don't end up like those types of people. The ones who end up like that are the ones who lied. The ones who tell the truth, you notice, the more you tell the truth, the more you actually succeed. The more you lie, you don't really succeed. You might succeed short term, but in the long run, you're not going to really succeed, really, if you lie too much. See, lying, you can get short term success you can get away with lying for a very good while. But then the lies start to, it's like what they told me: truths turn into lies, lies turn into truth. And the more you lie, the more you start to believe in your own lies, good and bad. And you start to think the truth is the lie. That's why you hear me say in my videos, 90% bullshit, 10% truth. I'm going to say it again. 90% bullshit, 10% truth. Now, this video is a lot longer. I don't want to take no more of your time. I promise you there'll be more fun, entertaining, exciting videos. Every now and then I got to give you an educational video that's a little bit boring, something that you're not used to, but it's to stimulate this. Till then, next time, peace.